Hi, this is Bilal from Speckle. As you know, we have recently released the mapping tool, and I've recorded a tutorial for mapping tool for Rhino. And in this video, I'm going to introduce you to the mapping tool for SketchUp. Right, let me first show you the final result of the transfer. I'm going to switch to Revit, and this is the same model that I just showed you inside SketchUp. And it is organized in a way that is more friendly to Revit. So for instance, if I select this element and go to its category, you would see that it's stored under roads category. If I select this tree, it is under planting. If I select this window, it is under windows, etc. Right, so let's switch back to SketchUp now and let's get going. First, let me talk a bit about the requirements to follow this tutorial. Obviously, you need to have two things, the SketchUp connector and the Revit connector. If you don't have those, there will be a pop-up in the top right corner of this video. Go there, watch the videos, install the connectors, and come back. So let me quickly introduce you to the SketchUp model. I'm going to expand the tags, and as you can see, the model is organized by layers. The walls are stored under the walls layer. The windows are stored under the windows layer, etc. Everything has its own tag inside SketchUp. So once you install the Speckle connector, you would see this Speckle icon right here. I'm going to click on it to activate it, and it opened in my other screen. So I'm going to just drag it into here, and this is the screen you're going to see. Before, you did not have this tab called Mapper. Let's switch to that. And this is the mapping tool UI inside SketchUp. So first, let me quickly explain what mapping tool does in its current state. So for instance, we have a geometry inside SketchUp, right? So this road, for instance, has a 2D geometry with some planes, right? With some curves here and there, etc. It converts that geometry and recreates it inside Revit with the correct category assigned. So we are not creating any native Revit elements at this stage, but it's on our roadmap. So for instance, you are going to be able to convert your SketchUp faces into Revit floors, Revit walls, maybe ceilings, or create native Revit topographies from your SketchUp faces. That is on our roadmap, but in its current state, what it does is basically it uses the geometry inside SketchUp and recreates it using the direct shape method inside Revit. That's how it works. So let's go then. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to select this element, and as you can see, I have three accordion menus here. The first one shows me the selection I made. So I have selected a component here. The second one makes the mapping. You have some options here. You click on apply, and then the element is mapped. The last one shows the mapped elements. Let me quickly collapse the first one. So let me select this element. And as you can see, we have a couple options here. The first one shows how you want to map your element. So if I zoom in, for instance, you can see you can map an element by an instance of an object or by its definition. In this one, I'm going to stick to the instance method, but I will show you the definition method as well. Then we have the mapper method. As I said, currently we only support direct shape conversions, but in the future we are also going to add some other methods. So you are going to be able to create native Revit elements from your SketchUp geometry. So we are happy with the direct shape. It asks you to define a category. So I have selected this, which is roads, right? So I'm going to search for roads. Here it is. You can also give it a name. Let's give it a name, roads, and click on apply. Once you do that, you would see that there is now a check icon right on the top right corner of this component. And I have an item here on the mapped elements table. We are going to come back here and I will show you how the mapped elements table work. But let's continue with the mapping. For instance, I'm going to select this topography and say that this is going to become topography. Click on apply. And then I also want to have these trees inside Revit as planting elements, right? So in this one, you can either map this individual instance as a planting category element, or you can map its definition. So what is the definition? So once you select an element inside Revit and go to its entity info, you should see that it says a component and then how many instances of that component are inside this model. So for instance, I have 6 instances of this component inside SketchUp. And if I check it, I have 1 tree here, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the definition, you can think of a component as a block, basically, right? You define a rule and then you place instances of that geometry inside your model. So let's map this then. I'm going to select this instance, and this time, instead of mapping the instance, I'm going to map the definition. So even if I add new instances of these trees, they will also get sent next time as a planting element in Revit, right? So I'm going to select the tree definition, convert that as a planting element. The name is automatically detected from the definition name. Let's click on apply. And now I have those trees in my model as well. Then let me quickly show you how the mapped elements work. So I have the topography here, planting roads, right? I can hide those elements. I can select them using this button, or I can isolate them. Let me quickly isolate them. As you can see, they are isolated. If I click on this show all button, everything will get back. We can hide whatever we mapped, so we can see what is left to be mapped, right? Other thing you can do is you can use SketchUp's selection methods as well. So for instance, I'm going to select this wall, right click, select all with the same tag. So all walls in my model will get selected. I also want to get this balcony and these elements under the walls category in Revit as well. So I'm going to right click, select all with the same tag. So all those new tags are also selected. And then I will go to category, simply type in walls, click on apply, and now they're also mapped as walls. Let's hide those as well. So let's quickly select the windows. I can right click, select all with the same tag. And then again, for windows, I'm also going to map with the definition. Simply say these are going to become windows in Revit. Click on apply. So they are mapped too. Right? So let's quickly do the same for doors. I'm going to right click, all with the same tag. Let's map them as doors and click apply. So doors are also mapped. I'm going to do the same for the rest. So give me a minute. All right, so everything is mapped. I've assigned the correct category to each element. So let me quickly go to the left and let's switch to the streams page and create a new project to send our data from SketchUp, right? I will click on the create new stream option, and then I will give this a name. Let's name this as the mapping tool for SketchUp demo. You can make this a private or public. I will keep it as public, and let's click on create. And now I have the new project called mapping tool for SketchUp demo. So what I'm going to do now is simply select everything I want to send to Revit and click on the send button. Now the SketchUp connector is going to convert these elements into a Speckle format so we can receive those inside Revit. Perfect. It is sent. Let me quickly view this on the web. So this is how it looks like inside Speckleverse. By the way, I'm going to add the link of this project in the description of this video, so you can also get access to it. If you want, you can receive it inside Revit. So now let's switch to Revit, and I'm going to close the previously opened project, and I will create a new project. So once you install Speckle, you should have a new tab called Speckle right here. I'm going to click on it and let's enable the Revit connector from this button. And as you can see, I've created this project and it is also available inside Revit. So I'm going to get into it. And then it asks me, what do you want to do? Do you want to send data from Revit or do you want to receive data from somewhere else? I want to receive in this case. So I'm going to switch to the receive tab and click on the receive button. But first, let's switch to the 3D view so we can see how it's going to get built. So I'm going to click on, let's hide the levels and click on receive. And look at that, it is getting built live right in front of our eyes. And perfect. Now, as you can see, each individual item is selectable. So it's different than linking or an importing, right? Because in imports, you have the whole model as a single object inside Revit, or the same is true for links as well, right? I can select each individual element and they are inside the correct category that I assigned. The windows are inside windows, the trees are inside planting, etc. We can also hide them using the Revit's visibility and graphics options. So for instance, if I go to visibility graphics and hide walls, click apply, the walls we sent from SketchUp will also get hidden. Okay, let's undo that. And yeah, so this is the geometry conversion, right? And as you can see, the materials are also converted into their Revit equivalents, right? So I will quickly switch back to SketchUp now. And let's see that what this material is. It is plaster white 1, right? I will switch back to SketchUp, go to the Manage tab and expand the Materials dialog and search for plaster white. And here it is. It is using the shading of the SketchUp material. Let's see the material of this tree, 0062 yellow green. I will go back to Revit and search for 0062 yellow green. It is right here. So we are also converting your materials from SketchUp into a Revit material. So if you wanted to, you would have replaced that with, you can add texture inside Revit, you can change the colors, etc. All right, so this was it. Thanks for watching. If you faced any issues or if you have any questions, please let us know at speckle.community. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.